Olympique Marseille have splashed the cash by buying none other than Mason Greenwood from Manchester United in a deal that's worth up to €31.6 million, which is just over £26 million. Oh boy, so we have to talk about Mason Greenwood. He's someone who I have avoided like the plague, to be honest with you. It's a whole situation that just is so depressing to me personally. Um, but yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about him. I'm not going to get into the allegations that were dropped, because anybody, regardless of them being dropped, anybody who saw those or listened to those recordings, I should say, that should be enough for you to make your mind up. And if it's not enough to make your mind up, then frankly, I think you need help, because unfortunately that was an absolutely horrific situation that she was put through. But keeping it with the football, because that's what we do on the Football Chronicle, he's moved over to Marseille. And from a Manchester United perspective, I think this is a great deal for them. Greenwood, of course, was tipped to be a future England star, to be a potential world class player. I mean, he scored goals incredibly young for Manchester United, and he got an England cap as well back in the day as well. I think really young. He is, on a football side of things, he was touted to be an incredible footballer. Obviously, since those allegations were put towards him, then things kind of got derailed, really, and rightfully so, in my opinion. But he spent last season out on loan at Getafe in Spain. By all accounts, he had a very good season there. I think he won their Player of the Season as well. And he helped them to get a solid mid-table finish, which for Getafe is a huge deal. They're not a particularly big club. They do punch above their weight historically, of course, but still, it's not a bad position to be in La Liga. There's a lot bigger clubs than them that struggle a lot more than them, usually. From Manchester United's point of view, I mean, he obviously came back to training, and he was someone who was very much under the microscope as well. I mean, the British press over here obviously are a lot more familiar with the legal situation and the allegations that were put against him. The pressure and the deridement that he would have gotten from Premier League clubs in this season if he stayed at Manchester United, I think would have been absolutely humongous. And the second he wouldn't perform, the press and everybody else would be just absolutely on his back, including the fans as well. I imagine quite a few United fans would be as well, kind of questioning why are they paying this guy so much money when he's such a big risk as well, in terms of what he's done before. So I think this is a fantastic deal for Man United. For Marseille, oh my goodness, this is an interesting one. I mean, for me, it kind of seems like he's a replacement for Iliman Ndiaye, who I know very well because I'm a Sheffield United fan, and I saw him be our Player of the Season when we got promoted from the Championship. Then he summarily left to Marseille to go and follow his dreams, and then turns out his dream turned into a nightmare, and he's left and come back to Everton. So the nightmare's only just begun, really, for him. But from a Marseille perspective, they're getting a good player, getting someone who's unproven in France, but someone who did very well in his debut La Liga campaign in Spain. That's a league that's a higher standard as well. Getafe are not anywhere near as big a club as Marseille, but Marseille are going to look to get back into Europe, because I don't think they qualified for Europe, actually. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, so for me, it's a big risk for Marseille, not only on the pitch but also off it as well. I think the mayor of Marseille implored the football team not to sign this guy. The kind of backlash against him has been significant, to say the least, and it always will be. But the Marseille fans, I mean, I'm sure they'll be pretty circumspect about him as well. If he doesn't perform, again, they are going to be on his back, and he is not going to like it, I don't think. The pressure from their ultras, I mean, if you've seen the French fans, when they get angry, they mean business. So he will be, if he doesn't get on, if he doesn't hit the ground running in France, he's going to be in big trouble very fast. But for Manchester United, this is an incredible piece of business. 26 million for somebody who has got a very large black mark against his name. Honestly, I'd snatch the hand off for it. That's an unbelievable deal. But that's my opinion, guys. What's your take on it? Let us know in the comments below. And for much more transfer news from the world of football, keep it tuned to thefootballchronicle.com.